don't want to go. School sucks. You want to stay in bed. Me too. I've got 6 people waiting for me at a school for a meeting. And I can't do that unless you go to school.
You still can. It's not wrong with the school.
It must have been a really bad day yesterday. Sorry to hear that.
Ariel est une élève de 7e année à l'école La Gimaudière. Elle a commencé ici en maternelle, donc ça fait 8 ans qu'elle est à l'école.
I think probably 3/4 of the world would rather stay in bed than go to work or go to school.
We took the time to educate ourselves because education on FASD is a key, I think.
We can't change the system. The system is not ideal for all students, but we can adapt the environment.
Come on, Troy. How about game party? Come on. Let's do darts. Come on.
Troy is a student that came into my world probably the first day because he was in a fight. My first meeting, they basically said he needs to be engaged in school because if he's not engaged, he will drop out eventually.
Your turn, Troy.
My first memory of Troy comes on the second day of school. He was leaning up against a locker and he said, "Mr. Lepke, I was fighting on the way home from school." I said, "Oh, is that so, Troy?" He goes, "Yeah, I was."
That was close to a bowling alley.
From that point on, I've had a lot of contact with Troy, and the vast majority of it has been time well spent. It's been a lot of fun getting to know him and his family and the unique needs that he has and how we can try and meet them here at Colesalker Junior High.
Do you boys want some toast?
Yeah, please.
Roy, how about you? Yeah. Did you want brown sugar or white sugar? Oh no.
Brown, please.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I thought you would have liked this one. Ready, almost ready for school, right?
The needs that Troy has is to be known, to be appreciated, that someone knows where he's at, someone that believes in him, that he can trust himself. Morning, Troy. How are you?
Good.
Hop in. Over the last few months, I've been trying to become one of those people and have succeeded on most levels. Beautiful day in the neighborhood today.
Yeah.
So you got your fancy shorts on?
Yeah. Very fancy.
We're all, trying to do the same thing and make school a comfortable spot for Troy where he's, feels welcome and learns things.
Troy will always be at school on time. Usually I'm in that grade 7 hallway and that's where I see him and he comes and finds me.
Hi, Miss Love.
Want to take any more? Or he'll then come and follow me, and off we go and chat and touch base and find out what happened last night, and we just have our thing. We talk, and how was your day? How was your night? What did you do? Do you think it's going to be Jets in Washington? That's your call?
Yeah.
We have his schedule posted on the wall here, so he can come in and check, but he still will come to me and find out what he has. And I think it's just that touch base, check in, feel safe.
Troy, can be very stubborn, and being stubborn is a great life skill. We could all use a little bit of stubbornness and stick-to-itiveness and know what we stand for, and Troy certainly has a good understanding of what he likes and what he doesn't like. So there has been some inevitable, bumps in the road, and how we're able to get Troy, off the proverbial shoulder and back onto the road is through people that he trusts.
À l'âge de 7e année, il y a le facteur hormone et il y a le facteur syndrome. Fait qu'il y a des choses qu'elle contrôle et des choses qu'elle contrôle un peu moins. Le mélange des deux ensemble, c'est... des fois, ça peut être de la dynamite.
Have you had your game of ping pong with Mr. Patrice yet?
No, I never said that.
You never said that?
No, I never said that.
Although I wish we had a ping pong table in our office. What kind of reward for hard work is going to help today?
Troy found his way to me through a special O group that we have going twice a cycle here. Myself and Mr. Landry run it along with the coordinator through the division. You have a good weekend?
Yeah.
I connected him with Mr. Murphy pretty early on because we needed him just in that health kind of phys ed movement break.
And we've been working out now once a cycle, which works out generally speaking to about once a week. So you're moving up today. This is going to be a little bit tough, right?
Really?
I know Monday morning it's not fair, but that's the way it goes.
We can never use the excuse we don't have enough support staff. We don't have enough EAs. So instead, we've been really creative on how can we support Troy then, and students like Troy, using the people that we have instead of just saying, well, we can't. So a lot of people have stepped up and been a part of Troy's life.
Excellent. Good job. He wants to get stronger. He's got an older brother he wants to become as strong as. Self-monitoring can be a bit of an issue with Troy outside of the weight room. So having him try to moderate or recognize what his effort level is and what he's doing and the impact on that is part of the reason we do the type of workout that we do.
Ariel, put a Rice Krispie square in your lunch. I packed your lunch for you. It's ready to go. All you gotta do is put clothes on. You can do it.
Okay, so you went up in 2 weights today. Good job, bud.
Something. Christmas is better for breakfast. Thanks for getting up. All right, let's rock.
I call shotgun.
Well, with Ariel, it's always been a team effort. In conversations we've had, especially in the last few years, where we've talked to Ariel's parents, it was a lot about knowing different strategies, getting to know her triggers, so that we can prevent rather than react.
Do you want to start by reading in the blue room and then, or have a conversation about what you want to do today?
Not reading.
Not reading.
If she's had a bad morning, we like knowing that when she's going to come in the school, because we plan accordingly. And, maybe Ariel will be in the class, maybe she won't. So what are the options?
Okay.
Hello.
Allô, Lisa.
Bonjour.
Ça va?
Ça va bien? On est ici.
Comment ça va? Bien. Yeah, je suis contente de te voir.
Really, in kindergarten, I think it was going quite well, although there were adaptations put into place with the information that we had.
And then as the years went on, she wasn't able to follow her peers in different domains at school, in different categories of work. And that's the thing, it was, what do we do thinking outside the box? How do we help her succeed in feeling validated and feeling successful? And when it was, let's say, an off day and she really didn't want to be in classroom.
It just takes a lot of work.
It does. Well, it can be a roller coaster of emotions and ability on any given day. So, you know, that unpredictability of we never know what's gonna happen. So we have to roll with that as parents, and our school has been really amazing at rolling with that too.
Yeah, well, come on.
On peut aller la voir après ça. Ça va être bientôt la récré, mais...
Yeah, je sais.
We have a staff that's very open to having Ariel in their classroom whenever, which has been a big key to our success in the school, because Ariel belongs to all of us.
Yeah, toi?
Oui, tu vas aller matin?
Sure. I get to leave class sometimes. They let me go in different classes, like help in kindergarten or in first grade. Or... Qui veut changer de couleur pour vous autres? Jaune, vert ou orange?
She's so fantastic with the kids, with the younger kids, so it's really a niche for her. Like, she's doing so well.
Okay, toi, Cadence.
It took some time before, because she really didn't want to be doing anything different than her peers. The feeling, the success, and feeling
Purpose.
purpose, and it's a good self-esteem builder as well, right?
Okay, bouge 3. 1, 2, 3. Quel fruit ça? Je sais même pas c'est quel fruit.
Ariel, ça fait depuis qu'elle est en 4e année que je travaille à ses côtés.
Toi, Data.
Puis je pense qu'avec le temps, comme on a été capable de la comprendre un peu mieux, puis elle aussi, elle a grandi, elle est capable de s'exprimer davantage, ça nous aide beaucoup aussi.
Well, it's like sometimes really annoying because they follow you around, right? So it's like if you go to the bathroom, oh, they follow you. Where are you going? And they have to know wherever you are all the time.
Plus elle vieillit, plus les besoins deviennent grands.
I taught Ariel in grade 5. She didn't have an EA that year.
We had been working for a long time to get support, right?
The biggest factor, I think, was that she left the classroom.
I can't really control my impulses, so if I see an injured bird or I think it's an injured bird, it turns out to be a thing, I go outside, but then they think I might run away if I'm mad.
Si Ariel décide de se sauver, j'ai un adulte qui va suivre Ariel, qui va communiquer tout de suite avec l'école, et généralement, c'est pour prendre une petite marche dans le village.
Alors à ce point-ci, on discute pas. Je prends mes affaires, puis je la suis. Et j'essaie d'utiliser vraiment ce temps-là bénéfique pour avoir une conversation, juste pour apprendre un petit peu aussi au sujet d'elle, puis voir qu'est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose qui est arrivé, est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose qu'on aurait pu changer, ou... Puis des fois, c'est juste, non, elle a décidé qu'elle voulait aller pour une marche, puis c'est correct, on prend notre marche, puis on revient.
It's been wonderful that our school has that flexibility to just think outside the box, understand what's happening for her, and not aggravate that situation. But I don't know if she would be able to even be attending school if we didn't have EA support.
Yeah, sometimes I freeze and just like don't say anything, and sometimes it gets pretty bad. And I flip their desks, or I call them names, or I threaten them, or I try to hurt them.
We'll see she's upset, so just acknowledging, being empathetic. Okay, whoa, you're really mad. Okay, let's take a second, let's talk about this. But sometimes that's a trigger. So we always have to wait for the opportune time. And when that door is open, we take that opportunity and then we have a great conversation.
C'est une adolescente. Ariel voit qu'elle est différente aussi, des fois. Puis une question de dignité. Lorsqu'elle va faire une crise à l'intérieur de la salle de classe, c'est mieux qu'elle fasse une crise dans un endroit éloigné avec un adulte de confiance que devant des amis.
Troy definitely gets a thought in his head and becomes really stuck that that's the way it is. And it is important for him to have someone question, is that the right way? Does that make sense? Otherwise, he'll just shut down.
One of the first things he told me was that in elementary school, when he got mad, he would break things and he'd smash computers there. And I think he was trying to tell me right away at the beginning of the year that sometimes I need help and I can't manage my emotions, I can't regulate them.
If he is in that state, I used to talk to him and try, what's going on? And I understand. And then after we talked about it, I said, I gotta stop talking. And he said, yes, you do. And so I've learned to give him his space and say, when you're ready, here I am, come to me then. And just kind of watch him, and he won't escalate if we just kind of back off, which is good, and it makes sense.
For now, as we all know, everything's going okay with their cooperation. But there's no funding for him at all. It's just them going out of their way too, as I am. We're all doing it together because he needs it and they know he needs it. His goal is to just finish school and to get a job. He wants to get a job because he wants to treat out those girls that he's trying to see already. It's just crazy. I says, can you go to school first? Wait on the girls. I says, there's going to be plenty because you're a very handsome boy.
Pour Ariel, on le voit pas. Et puis je pense que ça, c'est une chose où c'est difficile pour le monde de comprendre parce que si tu vois Ariel, elle paraît pas comme quelqu'un qui peut avoir des difficultés.
Like if somebody just meets me, they don't know I have it. I'm a regular person, just a bit crazier than people.
She can be so high functioning. She can be so strong in certain domains. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, if you don't understand that she has FASD, then it could look like it's manipulation.
They just have to understand that we're different. We have something different in us. It's just we have a bit more difficulty controlling our anger or emotions. So if I call somebody a name, then they should know that it's just because I'm angry at them and it's not because I actually think that's what it is. Because after I do it, I feel really bad.
It's like she's unpredictable, but she's also kind of predictable after a while, you know, because she'll throw a book or throw a computer. Well, you know she'll come down from that once you work with her lots. And so...
And she'll fix it, but it depends of our reaction.
Je dirais que des fois, qu'est-ce que tu vois est parfois en désaccord un petit peu avec le comportement qu'elle peut avoir selon certaines situations.
I might be faking not to be mad about anything, but I actually am mad about something. Then I go to the class and run away instead. So, but I didn't do that this year, so. Last year was really bad. Last year I'd run away a lot, but this year I'm good.
And as much as she wants to be able to do it herself, I think inside she knows that she needs support. And so she's been open to us helping her.
Mm-hmm. But that took time,
It takes repetition, and it takes coaching for the others as well. And the more you get to know her, the better.
Okay, balls away.
In a school setting, the more staff know about him, the more know about them, the better off everybody is. Especially as the teachers that don't teach him.
This one's the same, I think.
That's one of the things that Troy really finds frustrating. If somebody just doesn't get him and he doesn't get them, and then it can go sideways in a hurry.
You guys remember the rules 3-on-3? Take it out, no fouls, behave yourselves. Rock, paper, scissors, see who has the ball first.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Thinking outside the box, especially in relation to discipline, is really important for a kid like Troy. So your average student who's having a bad day, who has a lot more ability to self-regulate. If they end up in the office or facing, if you want to think of it as traditional disciplinary procedures, that doesn't necessarily upset most of them, but it would upset Troy. He wouldn't really get that.
I know I'm not going to get anywhere with Troy if I hammer him over the head and say, you made a bad decision, now get back in class and quit swearing. That's not going to work. It's going to be, I understand why you're mad. You told the teacher to F off. I get it. You're frustrated. Now, is that reasonable, Troy?
A little more compassion and distracting him and talking him down and getting him to stay in school is what is best for him. Sending him home for an afternoon if he had a blow up at a sub isn't going to accomplish much.
What about broccoli, Troy? No broccoli?
I want to cut some up.
Okay, I'm just seeing how many we got, so I'm just gonna throw these ones on here. And thin is perfect.
Nope.
There you go.
You got a different knife.
What works really well is when these teachers are all creative in the extent of, this is what I can do to help out. Here, I know that Troy might fit with a group of boys. I'm going to do some barbecuing.
How's that look?
These are situations where the kids themselves, by their behavior, are going to identify what their needs are. We just need to be receptive to what the needs are and think about how we could plug in to those situations.
Broccoli?
No.
No.
Yeah, sure, I'll have some broccoli to get healthy.
Well, you do those workouts with Mr. Murphy, right?
Yeah.
Pork has lots of protein.
Okay.
Protein's what builds muscles.
Okay. I'll eat pork then.
Definitely recommend you eat some pork.
Okay.
Mercy.
So we're going to start with English, and we're going to do an activity for the giver.
Yay!
Before I do that,
As much as possible, we want her to be in class. The main thing is to be flexible with that. The other thing is to find activities that are going to engage her and want her to come into the classroom every day as well.
you guys are going to be assigned jobs. Ariel, we have seen that you work wonderfully with younger children. So instead of going with a director of 11s for you, we've decided instead to put you as a director of 4s.
If she's not handing in everything handwritten like everybody else, that's you kind of have to let that go sometimes, or find other means, like asking her to video journal something on an iPad would be one option. The main thing is to have her socially in class, interacting with her with the other students in the classroom, and benefiting from that.
My job is, or my assignment is director of 4s. And do I have to read the caption?
Academically, Ariel is very strong. She doesn't always want to show it. When you get that chance to talk to her one-on-one about something, she'll show you how intelligent she is on certain matters. Reading, extremely strong.
Practicing interdependent. Oh, I love art. Gym is fun, but I don't like math. Correction, I hate math. It's easy, but I don't like it. It's just a waste of my time.
We know, especially when she was in maybe like a grade 5 and 6, it was fun. She wants to have fun.
Terms like activity or something like that, just to kind of brighten it up a bit so it's a bit more interesting and less like, oh, we have to do work today, or oh, we have an assignment due for this day. So trying to make it seem a bit more positive. But I think that's also something that when you're looking at the class as a whole, it kind of gives everybody else a better vibe as well.
Okay, well, she lived in Uganda. So, first thing, I'll show you it's in Africa, but I want you to try to find it.
We will try and meet Troy's academic needs and fit them in times where he is more apt to be open to that sort of thing.
Perfect. So just write it in there. You only have to write 4 words today. It's the easiest day ever. So self-esteem is a big thing, and I always come from a strength-based approach. You know every single one of these words. So I remind Troy about the things that he's good at. So I often say, oh, you're a good reader. You'll get through this pretty quickly. In China, a bicycle.
You know, he's going to be just like the rest of the kids, you know, getting an academic sweat on his brow about, you know, about math, about science, about reading as well. The level of exercise that he's going to need academically to get that sweat will be changed.
He does have alternative programming to help him motivated throughout the day and for something to look forward to, and it's almost like a negotiation sometimes. If you go to ELA now, remember, then you have cooking this afternoon, and it kind of keeps him focused on first this, then the task or the thing will come.
So 20 minutes of work. That means even if you finish 2, keep working for 20 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
Set the timer.
2020. Right, 2020.
Set the 20-minute timer.
Yeah.
You don't want to do overtime.
Yeah. I would get mad if I worked overtime, right?
Oh, I'd get mad too. There we go.
I try to motivate my kids on a short-term basis. So if we complete this, we'll have a preferred activity at the end of class, and I know he really likes sports, and so just trying to include things that he's good at to motivate him through the day.
Fruits is not healthy.
Fruits are super healthy. I think we're gonna fly through this and end up doing more.
Often too, he'll want to come and find me and be with me, and I say, no, you know, our time is over here, and that helps get him to where he's supposed to be. It's not perfect, because he definitely needs support getting to classes still.
Monsieur, je peux avoir un mon ordinateur?
Oui, bien. T'as fait pas mal tes tâches aujourd'hui. Viens avec moi. Pour gérer le temps à l'ordinateur d'Ariel, on utilise un programme à l'école, Landschool. Fait que si Ariel est en train de faire un travail en salle de classe, puis elle n'est pas en train de faire le travail qu'elle doit faire, l'enseignant peut contrôler son écran.
They have a stupid thing that they can turn off my laptop.
Le défi qu'on a eu avec Ariel, c'est que ça menait à des crises à l'intérieur de la salle de classe et ça venait difficile pour l'enseignant à gérer. Fait que ce qu'on a fait, lorsqu'Ariel ne fonctionne plus en classe puis elle veut juste avoir l'ordinateur, elle sort de la salle de classe et elle va aller dans le coin de service aux élèves. Et là, l'enseignant peut continuer d'enseigner à ses élèves et la responsabilité de gérer l'ordinateur conjointement avec la bibliothécaire qui va à son ordinateur, Landschool. Fait que lorsque c'est pas le temps, on ferme son ordinateur. On le contrôle à distance.
Well, sometimes they turn my computer off if I'm not doing anything, well, what they consider if I'm like supposed to be on a PowerPoint, making a PowerPoint on Earth or something. Well, then I have to stay on that if I go on something else. Like, they allow me to put music on as long as I stay on the thing and not go on YouTube.
Ariel, on va lui dire « serre ton crayon ». Il ne faut pas penser que ça va être dans les 2 prochaines secondes que le crayon va être serré. Il faut laisser le temps à Ariel de prendre l'information, même si sa première réponse va peut-être être « non ». Elle a compris qu'est-ce que tu as dit.
Like, we learned that, especially when she was in grade 2 and 3, you know, the parents shared with us, okay, well, say it, then walk away, and then you'll see, she'll come around and she'll, okay, it's time to go in, Ariel, from recess. We'd walk away, she would play for a few more, minutes, and then, oh, there you go. And it'd be like, wow, it works. But it's understanding that she needs more time.
The academics will come. We have to, and we've spent a lot of time sometimes supporting teachers going, it's okay. We see you working, you're trying so hard and you're doing great. You're doing fantastic. She likes you. And that is the single most important thing she can say.
Yes.
If she doesn't like her teacher, nothing's gonna happen.
When we have a new staff member working with Ariel, that's the first thing that we mention. Work on your relationship. Talk about animals, talk about nature.
All her favorite
Talk about
things.
books, all her favorite things. Talk about roller derby.
That highlights how much relationships are important to him. If he doesn't know somebody, he doesn't even want to get to know them. And we really have to bridge him meeting new people.
He tries to avoid class a little bit more when there's a substitute teacher. boy, we understand that,
That's
eh?
very understandable. But they used to text us in the morning if they knew there was going to be a sub in her class that day. So I'd say, hey, Ariel, so-and-so is going to be your sub today. They've got this and this planned in the morning, and then, you know, this and this in the afternoon. What do you think? And she'd be like, oh. Okay.
Troy likes school so much. I think it's just to get out of the house. Like I always say anyway. He does like the activities that they have for him, and some of the people he really likes to be around with too. Because how they treat him, it's how he wants, you know, that openness what they have too for him, and when they do stuff with him. Yeah, he really likes that.
Oh, thank you. Kindness is kind of like a magic wand. When you're kind, you will get kind back. And you'll get kids responding to you.
I won. Now I'm on 3.
Now it's your shuffle.
You have nothing without a relationship because there's nothing else to grab onto. It's sort of a door opener. That's even more important for someone with FASD because they're going to have a significant number of challenges before you get to the door. Would you like a drink of water or not?
I already had a drink of water.
You did. Did you at least get some good food for lunch? Where'd you go?
My friend Nathan gave me some of his poutine.
Oh, nice. Nothing like poutine.
Just this past winter, he took them out skidooing. They were just so happy, Trent and Troy.
I live in town and I thought, well, these guys would enjoy themselves. So that's not something that comes up at the student support team meetings, but I know the guys like it, and when I see them in the hallway, it's another reason for them to come to school, and we, you know, joke around, and it keeps it fun because we're all humans, and we all enjoy doing these activities regardless of what labels we have on each other.
I can't thank him enough because they get that kind of father figure because there's nothing like that, just me. I'm trying to do both, and it's hard. It's very hard. So I'm glad they got some of that from him. I appreciate everything he has done for my boys.
That sort of encouragement that we get from Kim really bolsters us to want to try even harder.
Every now and then I'll get a text from Mom. Do you know where Troy is? Or do you know where Mr. Lepke is? He's supposed to pick up Troy, or whatever it is. Like, and I feel like that's a really neat thing. And I feel like I can text her anytime, she can text me. And that open communication that we're working together for Troy is so important. And there's no judgment, and we're just all in it for Troy's benefit.
Peer relationships is key to any child's happiness. I think she wants to be accepted, she wants to belong, she wants to feel genuinely as though she's part of the group.
In this school year, they had the diagnostic coordinator come and do a presentation with the class and talk about FASD and what does it look like and how can you best respond to different situations that arise in any given day.
And I think that has been key. We couldn't do that too early because they wouldn't understand like the brain domains and all that. They could in a general sense, like empathy and what friendship means. But I think as they get older now, we can get into more complex themes.
And Ariel's been open to talking about it, so helping them.
I think that's been key.
Mm-hmm.
They understand me better now that I've been with them for 7 years, or 8 years actually, because kindergarten. So yeah, I've been with them for a long time, so they started understanding me more, and this year they're super nice to me, and so it's easier for me.
And we've told them anytime she wants to talk about that in the classroom or with peers or with guidance or whoever, absolutely let her talk about it. That's part of who she is, and the more she can come to understand that herself, the better. So that's been really positive.
We don't talk about just one person's differences. We talk about, well, how are We're all different in how we learn different and how we work differently and we feel differently. And we've had a lot of discussions on how being fair doesn't mean being equal.
Ils savent quand ils doivent plus ou moins ignorer un comportement ou des choses qu'elle dit, ou des fois ils vont même la guider et puis dire ok Ariel peut-être c'est pas un bon temps pour parler de ça, on peut en parler plus tard.
The kids like a lot of things about Ariel.
She's so outgoing and fun.
They make her laugh, and she makes them laugh, and yeah.
I'm awesome. I don't know, they already know that. They already know I'm the life of the party.
We call her the bird goddess because she's, held more wild birds and recuperated more wild birds that have hit windows or fallen out of nests or whatever. But she would like to do wildlife rehabilitation, I think, when she grows up.
Well, we know Ariel loves animals.
She loves animals.
And she feels a lot when she's so caring.
Yeah.
That one time they had, there was an animal that passed away or something. Was it a bird? And the grade 1 teacher, talk about the whole school pitching in.
Yes.
Right?
She had found a dead bird outside at home and had wrapped it up in a t-shirt and put it in her backpack to take to school.
They were checking my backpacks because sometimes I would bring knives at school and threaten people when I was mad. So they had to check my backpack.
It's such a beautiful thing. And yet, for other people, it was like, oh my goodness, there's a dead bird in your bag.
You can't. What are you doing with this? I don't really know what the intention was. Maybe to show people or whatever, but she got to school and the school principal went through her backpack and found this.
Oh my. My principal at that time was actually pretty horrified, but...
So we scaled it down.
Yeah, and I think there was another teacher in the school who also knows Ariel very well who helped.
And so they ended up doing a little burial, funeral in the back of the school, her and the grade 1 teacher. She wasn't even in grade 1 at the time, but that's one of her people.
Wonderful. So he understands that I like birds and he understands that I like nature and he likes nature, so he helped me. It's just how it is. They're very caring.
Everybody understands that that's important for her, so we take it seriously. We don't say, no, just put that aside. It's really empathizing with how she's feeling.
And that was what she needed to be able to move on with her days. So
that's nice. And you can see how it could have gone the complete opposite way.
Yeah.
Why do you have a dead bird in your backpack?
Yes.
And we're going to have to call your parents.
Yes.
And this is where you need you to talk to this person now to assess why you had a dead bird in your backpack.
Yes. They don't take those really tricky times and blow them out of proportion. They get a bit of a chuckle out of them sometimes and then strategize really quickly what can and will be done at any given point in time.
C'est à nous, des fois, d'apprendre la danse, tout dépendamment des journées. Des fois, on va danser le cha-cha, des fois, on va danser un slow, des fois, ça va être... ça peut être n'importe quelle danse, mais il faut être prêt à s'adapter à l'intérieur de notre cadre de l'école.
It's very important that everybody kind of expresses their concerns or their thoughts or their strategies because it gives everybody a kind of a bank to work with.
C'est toujours être comme à l'affût de différents outils qu'on peut utiliser pour l'aider comme quotidiennement.
Oui, bonjour Ariel.
Est-ce que je peux utiliser des raquettes de pas badminton. Ping-pong.
The ping-pong?
Having everybody on board is so important.
Yeah. But you're not always conscious of what you did to have a good day or, what you did that went the other way.
S'il y avait une recette miracle, on l'utiliserait tout le temps. Mais il n'y en a pas de recette miracle. Fait que comme personne, il faut être capable de se pardonner aussi lorsqu'on utilise une stratégie qui n'a pas fonctionné.
J'ai eu un début d'année qui était très difficile. Pour une raison ou une autre, je prenais tout personnellement. Quand elle m'envoyait balader ou qu'elle me lançait des choses pas très gentilles dans le visage, je le prenais toujours comme c'est moi qui allais l'attaquer. Et ça a été très, très, très difficile.
The first time that you will hear something shocking that she will say to you, it is hard to not take it personally. The next few times you hear it, you kind of understand that, okay, she's just in that mindset right now. This is where she is. We need to bring her to somewhere else so that she can kind of calm down.
L'équipe m'a un petit peu aidé à comme prendre un pas en arrière, puis juste de voir le plus grand paysage, puis de dire, OK, ça c'est la situation, mais c'est comme, si ça avait été quelqu'un d'autre, c'est cette personne-là qui serait pris les mêmes commentaires.
OK, je peux pas frapper la balle.
I think it's important to let the school be comfortable to fail or to not always have to be 100% successful. And I think the schools put a lot of pressure on themselves to always be there and perfect. And we were always like, we know it's tough.
Yeah, there's a lot of trial and error that happens there.
You've got the FASD brain, absolutely, but there's also a teenage brain in there. And you're trying to manage which behaviors are which brain today.
Absolutely.
Is this just, typical teenage, I don't want to do that? Or is that, I can't do that today? And trying to figure out what it is, being those behavioral detectives.
And sometimes even the best strategies, best intentions, best relationships don't always produce the results that we're looking for. And then we'll press the reset button.
Tomorrow's a new day.
Try to start again tomorrow.
I'm sure she doesn't know, but she's helping a lot of different students. And so for me,
Keeps us on her toes.
Yeah, for me, because she's one of the older students now, all these younger students are benefiting from everything we've learned.
It's my third year of teaching, and I have this experience with Ariel to work, to use in the next 27 whatever years that I'm going to be teaching, as kind of like a backbone for how to deal with students in general.
It's universal design. If I'm explaining something using pictures and different tactile devices, it's probably helping somebody else in the room as well understand.
Well, professionally, it's definitely enlightened me a bit as to how capable those kids are.
Come on, Troy.
What Troy brings to the school is a certain likability. He has a sort of a devil-may-care attitude about him, and it's something that we can all learn from in terms of let's not sweat the small stuff.
Moi, j'avais déjà eu l'expérience à mon ancienne école avec un élève qui avait le syndrome d'alcool fœtal, qui était complètement différent d'Ariel. C'est quelque chose de lire dans les livres, mais c'est une autre chose de le vivre. Et là, on se rend compte que le spectre est beaucoup plus large. Et moi, j'ai beaucoup appris cette année.
Je veux dire, le monde est rempli de personnes qui sont différentes, peu importe leurs différences, mais si on était tous pareils, je veux dire, ce serait plate.
It's easy to teach the kids that can do school easy, but we need to be here to teach the kids that struggle. That's our job.
That's my goal, is for them to have a normal life, not to be discarded because of their disability or, how they act. I want people to understand them, to be well-spoken, and just to let people know, well, I'm like this because I was born like this. Yeah. It's not like I'm chose to be like this, you know what I mean?
It's tough to judge someone in terms of the life experience at the time, and certainly I don't think it's remotely helpful because it's really hard to walk a mile in someone's shoes.
Over the years, even though we went through a lot of bad stages through life where they shouldn't even see, neither me, but I mean, we went through it. We went and we got through it all. We got through it all.
For you.
And we did it good. And I try to tell my kids, we made it this far, we can make it again.
Yeah.
I think working in this school, you just find your place and you find your calling and you go, I'm supposed to be here. because there's so many kids that need kindness and understanding and a champion. And I feel like Troy gives me that feeling of I'm making a difference.
We made a promise, and, you know, like, she's my daughter. Like, that's, you know, your kids are your kids.
I want them to be successful and get what they want out of life, whether that's being a bird goddess professionally, working in rehab for wildlife, or whatever.
And at the end of the day, I'm a better person for it. And these strategies that I've learned make me a better coworker, make me a better person, make me a better parent. I think that's the definition of inclusion, and that's what anybody with a disability brings to any environment they're in.
I don't know, I'd recommend being patient, understanding that you're different and we need different needs sometimes, and I don't know, sometimes we need help. People understand me pretty well, I guess, so it's good.